So did Michael Jackson kill her?
Sorry. Look, I don't know. What do you say?
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Okay, guys. We're all friends here. So enjoy the natural phase. All the imperfections. Because next week we're going to be real cute. Oh, they going to have to go downstairs.
Okay, y'all go to the room.
And be quiet, please.
Thank you. Y'all doing a great job right now.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't know why. I don't know. Wait a minute. What that say? What that say about my what's bringing the boys to the yard? My milkshake bringing all the boys to the yard, and it's better than yours.
I thought it was an actual message.
You was like, huh?
All right, let me see if you can see my
milkshake.
I don't know. No, you got.
Annie, are you okay?
I like it like that.
Oh.
You don't like it like that? You just want to show off your body. Look at that body. Ooh, look at that body. Mine is still a work in progress, so you'll see later.
Okay.
These pants are too slidery.
Slider.
What
kind of language are we using?
They're too slidery. Guys, we're gonna be. Why I'm acting like we're live? We're not live.
We're not live? Okay. I know. But I am growing. But look, my hair is growing though. Cause look, my bangs are so freaking long.
Yeah. They're gonna be short Thursday.
Oh my god.
Kiana, when you watch it, she's gonna be like, why did you say that? I was her hair.
Fiona is so professional, and she straight be like, look, I want you to hold this mirror because I'm going to show you why I'm cutting this off. And we're going to have to come up. And I'll be like, bitch, I don't need that mirror. Just do what I do. Come on. I know you know what you're doing.
Exactly. Okay, so 5, 4,
Can we do that again? Because I want to do the 5, 4, 3, 2.
Don't worry about that.
I want to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I want to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Merci.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. It's Candace P. and the T. Welcome. Okay, so you guys are probably noticing that we're not wearing any makeup.
We're not.
It's fine. You guys are our friends. So we can be at home with each other. We got our beers.
Next week, we're going to have our pajama. No, I'm joking.
Maybe. I'm not opposed to it.
I know. We're about to be in there like swimming.
But we just want to come to you guys with another episode. Thank you for watching our other episodes. Yes. Thank you for all the likes to our page. Our page is truly growing. Thanks to you all.
The girls are in the his house.
We're back.
We back.
But we ain't never leave.
Yeah, we leave.
So it's okay.
I mean, we just back this week.
Yeah, this week.
Yeah, you know.
So what you have to say?
I was like, what are we talking about?
We're talking about, well, this is the intro. Okay. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm here. I heard, I was there for that part.
Right. So keep on sharing the page, keep liking the page.
Yes.
Like the videos. If you want to comment, you can say whatever. Say if you thought something was funny, comment at that moment, because we want to see the interaction. We want to build a relationship with you guys.
And send us ideas because we want to talk about things that you want to talk about.
Yes, and I know Kiana, my best friend, she has been giving suggestions. So further into the episodes, we are going to start using them.
Yes.
But today we are going to talk about, I saw a video. My best friend sent me a video. And it was about the military and everything that's going on in Ukraine with Russia and everything. And the video was basically talking about being a military spouse and dealing with deployments. Like a lot of people don't know about me is that I actually moved to a military town in North Carolina.
Right.
And I had to deal with, I want to say 3 or 4 deployments in the matter of, I was down there for like 4 years. So it's like, that's a lot.
It is.
And I'm
that's like a deployment a year.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful that one, when we had Graham, he was young.
Right.
But for the most part for all of those deployments, I didn't have a child. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, great. I can't imagine explaining,
to your child,
where's your parent and the time difference. Mm-hmm. More importantly than the time difference, when that person comes back.
Right.
Oh, no. I mean, well, I'll say that, but I can loop back. When that person comes back, the household dynamic is so different. Like even right now with my husband working overnight, I'm like, when he changes, like I told my therapist, like, I'm the woman of the house. Like, he gets in the way of my pattern. Like when he's home, I'm like, what are you doing? Go away, But it's not having that person there constantly.
Yeah. You get into your own routine. You get used to. I mean, that's just like being a single parent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and somebody else coming in.
It's hard for me. Shoot.
Right.
I mean, Stefan literally had to tell me, stop taking the trash out. Let me be the man, please. But no, because I mean, I got so used to me doing everything. Mm-hmm. Me having to be the one to do everything for the boys, me not knowing how to reschedule stuff. And, now I have to keep in mind and remember, like, oh yeah, there's somebody else.
Yeah.
It's the same thing because you get into a routine. Even kids get into their own routine and they like, hey,
like what I'm getting yelled at for something, or, like that person, not that necessarily you're getting yelled at for something, but when that person throws off the routine, especially children, they're going to do what they normally do. So when they are reprimanded,
right.
It's like, well, mommy let me do it.
Yeah.
Daddy let me do it. So why are you yelling at me for it? Yeah. But I just think that's very interesting and something to consider. And anybody who is a military spouse or someone of service, thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be tough if you get deployed. Like Brandon, you guys don't know him, but he's another host for the Caribbean team. But Brandon, he oh my God, I lost my train of thought.
Now I'm gonna have to cut that.
No, Brandon, he was in aviation. So that means they're going, like no matter where they're going.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're gonna be one of the first to go. So so he was deployed, and I just was left with like, okay, like I remember having that conversation with him, saying goodbye to him in the morning, and him going to work, and then getting a phone call like 11 o'clock, like, yo, we might be deploying. And I'm like, what? And then that whole process is completely heartbreaking. But you do look forward to those times. But I was lucky enough that he wasn't in active war,
right.
So it was, when he was there, the threat was there, but it wasn't like he's going to be on the lines going in for any tactical duty or whatever. But, I just think a lot of people don't understand how families are affected.
I know as a military brat, because my parents have been together for almost 30 years. And with Pop being in the military in the Air Force, I remember him being gone a lot.
Yeah. I was gonna say Mr. Tim wasn't around like that.
Yeah, like I remember him being gone a lot. And then I remember there being a ton of pictures because he went to Spain or he went to this place, whatever, and looking at all these, pictures of him and where he's been or whatever. But it was like, not that he was never there. He was definitely there, and he was very present. He was the one I wasn't scared of. I used to be like, "Ooh, I'm a fortune on that stuff," because all.
But I'm thinking about in a relationship sense, like, I think we can go through a whole rabbit hole of the children and all this other type of stuff, but I just think like relationships, long distance relationships, can be extremely tough. But for me, I thought it was pretty easy. I thought in-person relationships is harder for me.
But that's because, well, first of all, y'all's relationship basically started long distance.
Yeah.
So of course that's easy to you because that's what y'all really knew, was to be long distance from each other. Yeah. Versus other people where they start these relationships because they met the person. Yeah, but it creates this
fantasy though. This is the part that I don't like about long distance relationships. Like I am fully functional I'm fully functional in any relationship, but it's just easier, like, getting excited to see you or whatever. But that creates that fantasy where I found that once we finally lived together without him leaving, it brought, like, first of all, we had to get to know each other. Yeah. And I felt like, okay, I didn't notice this. I heard you say this before, but I didn't
really think about what you said.
Yeah, I really didn't think about what you said, because I can hang up the phone. I can be like, because I ended that conversation. Bye. Or I don't have to respond to an email, Right. So seeing different characteristics come out, and I'm like, oh wow, like you really are a jerk. Like sometimes, but I'm like, and vice versa. He could be like, well, I wasn't expecting you to have so much mouth or attitude or whatever. But you have to relearn each other, and like you got to get out of that fantasy. If you're in a long distance relationship, a lot, like I said, it creates a fantasy because all this time you're just waiting to see this person, and you're like thinking about the next time. And when you're in midst of each other, a lot of times you're just so head over heels and infatuated. That real issues that come up may not be discussed. And mind you, our communication was perfect. Honestly, long distance. We talked about everything, any argument, any issues, we talked it out. And it's so different in person, and we do the same thing in person. But you have to, when you have an issue, you just need to address it and make sure you're truly addressing it, because it's so easy to get back into that fantasy world. So, and it doesn't have to be a military person, but if I just think that that's something to consider when you do deal with long distance. And the video really made me go back to put me back at a time where like I'm driving on base, and I'm either dropping him off and I'm seeing all these little kids, like, because military have a lot of babies,
everything like it was,
and I'm seeing all these people, and like, you don't want to be like so sad, and you don't want to remind them that they're leaving, but they know they're leaving. But like the whole process, them getting on a bus because they got to get to the bus to the airport, and it's just like, man, like it's surreal, and like to see other people going through it, that's the best part about it. But sometimes you don't have that team around you that you need to get you through it. Like nobody could coach me, nobody could give me advice about what I was going through. Like they basically were like, oh, well, when he coming back? And I'm like, 6 months from now, a year from now, I don't know. But and then think about the things that can happen if they're in war or a natural disaster. Because when Brandon was in Japan, the tsunami hit. So that was a complete panic for me. God. I'm hearing sirens going off in the background. He's like, I don't know if when I can call you. It was so dramatic. And I'm like, on the other end,
Army wives
crying. Like every time because I went to the gym, right? I went to Planet Fitness. And they started showing CNN on a thing.
Oh, God.
And I'm just on a treadmill. People thought I was crazy. And I was trying to like, somebody get this shit. Nobody asked me if I was okay. But I'm like on a treadmill, like, oh, damn.
Oh, my God. You are nuts.
But but there's things to contribute to it. But luckily we made it. Luckily, he didn't swim off in a tsunami, but like you've had experience dating with military. Like, how was that for you? Because some people think that they're crazy a little bit, but what was your experience?
Okay, so I dated 4 military guys. Yeah, Air Force, Army, Marine. Yes. So basically, right. So anyway, but they were always gone.
Yeah.
The one that I had the longest relationship with, which was like almost 2 years, maybe. He was always gone. I would just be at his apartment by myself, driving his car, and just
that's
and
the
he was always gone. But like you said, it was we got into a routine because I always knew he was gonna be gone. How we're communicating with each other, how we're doing whatever. Got into a routine.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, it was
something completely different.
Totally different, and he was different.
Yeah,
he was different.
Yeah,
so it was,
and a lot of times it is like that. Even if they didn't go to like actual combat, like one time this therapist, not this therapist, but they were like a kind of like a counselor. So before they came home, the troops came home, they sent out the newsletter saying what things to prepare for. Like simply moving dishes, like moving your silverware drawer or your cup drawer or your cup cabinet. That's something that confuses them and make them not feel like they're in their own home or not knowing where the toilet paper is anymore, or the little stuff like that where they have to get acclimated. And especially with men, I feel like instead of them saying like, whoa, this is different, they internalize it and then like start shutting you out because they don't know how to process it. And then rather than just communicating and be like, this is tough for me. Like, I didn't know you changed the dining room table. I didn't know, I didn't know you painted the walls. Why didn't you tell me or whatever? Or even if they told you it looks different, that still look different from their home. So it's just things to consider. So if you're one of those people who are dating somebody or married to somebody that's in the military, or like an inmate, because they go through the same stuff. That's just something to consider. And like definitely communication definitely helps. And that's just one thing that I just think every relationship needs is communication. And a functional communication.
Yes. You have to have a free-flowing communicational, system there, because if not, things really do go wrong.
Girl.
Things go wrong.
They really do. But so yeah, if you are one of those people, if you're finding it difficult, if you're having a hard time adjusting, simply just message us. Like, I can relate, she can relate. There's so much more advice I have, and you probably do too, about the topic, but I just don't want to beat a dead horse anymore. But let us know, and we'll try to help as much as we can.
Not me, her.
When I say we, it's her. The T and Candace B. Okay. All right. But another thing I wanted to talk about on here is okay, how do I want to say this? How do you tell a person?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How do you tell a person, whether if it's a friendship or whatever, how do you tell that person, like, what it's time for the friendship to end? How do you tell them?
I'm dead. I cannot. I cannot.
When is the time?
You just got to tell them. Okay, you just got to do it. Yeah. No, okay, so we went through this. I think it was like the first episode. Yeah. I'm mean. So I'm mean, and I don't beat around the bush about it. No. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. And I write them off.
Yeah.
I did that to 3 people this year.
Remember, this year it's only February.
Okay, the last 6 months. Between the last 6 months. I keep forgetting that. Okay, my head still.
Oh my God, I'm gonna say you're quick.
Dang! You know what? I ain't saying nothing else.
Oh my God.
No, I mean, but so yeah, I did that to 3 people in the last 6 months. And I mean, and it's not that, you know, I'm trying to be mean. It's just that I truly believe that there's people for different seasons.
Yes.
I truly believe that we outgrow people, you know, and that's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. Like, we can outgrow people. That's okay. And you can leave the relationship amicably.
Yeah, you can.
You know, I did that with somebody that I've been friends with since 5th grade.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, look, we're just not close like I, you know, would expect us to be. You're not the type of friend to me that I need you to be. Right. You know, and I see how she's friends with other people or whatever. And I'm like, but I've known you longer than you've known those people. What's wrong with our relationship? Like, we need to fix it. And I thought I was fixing it. You know, I was like, I'm reaching out to you all the time. Yeah. Like, I'm barely getting a response. Like, I'm trying to have a friendship with you. Right. But it still didn't work. So I just told her, you know, unfortunately, I think that we've just outgrown each other and grown in separate ways. And that's okay. Right. And if we see each other in passing or whatever, hi and bye, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right. But I just don't want to call you my friend anymore. Yeah. And I mean, and I let it go. I let it go. And that was since 5th grade, you know, 20 years. Now, longer relationships, I feel like I have the most difficult with because, you know, I evaluate everything. Like, I try to make sure that I'm not being too hasty with stuff, like, and make sure it's not a superficial issue, you know? So I think one of the things that I have the difficulty with is allowing those people to continue until I'm like completely fed up. But I try to exhaust all options before I do that because 1, I don't call everybody my friend. Right. 2, I only have like 3 friends. Right. Oh, wait a minute. Let's back up. I'm number 1 friend. Yeah. Well, you're my cousin. You know, why do you always gotta bring that up? Your family. Just be like, yes. Your family. Family. You want to be my friend? No. Okay. I'm just saying. You don't want to be my friend. I'm your first friend. You are my first friend. So yeah, there we go. So you are number 1. There we go. But I mean, and it's okay to only have 3 friends. Like, I was telling my therapist, yes, I have a therapist. And I really think that it's okay to have a therapist. Because shoot, sometimes you gotta unload, man. You be like, oh, I wanted to just kill him today, but I can't say it to him. I'll be like, okay, baby. Exactly. We disagree. And then I want to beat the dead horse. I'm gonna beat that dead horse until I get back up and die again. Yeah. Like, you know, and I want to express that. So anyway, I was telling my therapist, I was like, yeah, so me and my 4 friends, I know I got 4. Wait a minute, do I have 3? I don't have 3. It's me, Sydney White. Sydney White is definitely a friend. Sydney White. My grandfather would always tell his stories, and he would always be like, okay, so it was me, Sydney White. And one time I asked him, I was like, so you know that was Sydney? He don't know I was Sydney. So why you gotta say his whole name? Anyway, but no, yeah, I mean, it happens. What was that knocking sound? Oh, that's the kids. Okay, but no, like I just think you need to reevaluate. And I'm talking to myself because in a situation where I am thinking it's brewing, and I do, and I think I think too much. Let me thank you today, because you were being very nice for me. I was really, really nice. It's like, is this Lauren or Candace? Because Lauren is how do you make a nice one. And I'm like, Karen.
Karen.
Karen. You should see your lips.
They just a bit that movie, you're like, I can't do it. Because I'm like,
Candace Cloran.
No, not Cloran.
Oh, it's so
anyway.
That's hilarious.
Cloran. Now I'm saying the same thing you said. Anyway, but to not go into details, but I think everybody should, like, I wanted you to look at the situation, not to change your mind on anything, but to see it from a different perspective. And to resolve it so it can be done.
No, I know I was saying, like, you were being really nice about it. And I was like, you know what? She is right. I'm the devil and she the devil, but she had a little angel wing on the day. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take your advice.
Yeah, and I thought when I was saying it and other people in the store, really they were like,
hey, you must be a therapist in the grocery store. No.
I was like, okay.
But but I mean, like, my friend that I had stopped talking to from 5th grade, randomly, she'll message me on Facebook. Randomly, I'll message her. Yeah. We randomly, will send a picture like, oh, I just found this picture from such and such birthday.
And that's fine. And that's how it should be.
I'm like, we didn't, nobody was mad. And you know what her response was? And it was so freaking mature. She was like, I absolutely understand where you're coming from. And I always wish you and the boys the best.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was so like, and that was it. And then,
because sometimes you just outgrow a person.
You do.
Like, honestly,
it's
like
okay.
A friend from 5th grade, like,
right.
The
fact that we were even connected still is like, out of this world. But I mean, we have to be mature enough to, be able to do those things. And it's nothing wrong with you outgrowing someone.
No, it's not.
You don't have to leave the relationship nasty. It's, there.
And that's why I wanted that for you and the other person. Simply because I think if you're not honest with how you feel, especially if you were the true friend, or that you're whatever, that you feel like you're the true friend, right? So have that open and honest conversation so that person can know, or you made them aware, not that they're going to comprehend or understand, but you made them aware
from your perspective.
This is what I feel that is not right in this situation, and this is why I'm removing myself. I think it offers that person a chance to make a change, not for your friendship, but for them, because they're going to find themselves in the same situation. Yeah. So, I just like people having clarity, like that, and that's one of my major things. Like, if I'm coming to you, and whether it's professional, business, personal, I want you to have that clarity of understanding what I'm saying and what I mean. You know what I mean? So I think everybody, if you're not a direct person, I think you should start to add a sprinkle of that in your lifestyle, because
it's not for you to be, again, you don't have to be nasty about it or anything like that. It's just you being honest with yourself and with that person.
Yeah, and you don't have that feeling like nothing was you missed anything. You're not saying it, So just give yourself that opportunity with people. If they're in your life, grant them the opportunity to let them know this is what I do like, this is what I don't like, and this is why I'm ending this friendship. So it's nothing wrong with it. The kids are getting loud, so we're going to check out here, and we gotta go. So thank you for joining. See us next time.
Like up with friends.
Yes, and like and share, and just comment.